Right, we are live. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Madrid Sevens. This one, South Africa versus Ireland, a part of Pool B. We've just seen a last-minute thriller between New Zealand and Fiji, which is why I was a little bit rattled at the start of this contest. 28 points to 26, both sides receiving at least 1 point, which is why either of these sides need to take this game both hands, try and get a massive victory, because that might be the difference between making it to the semi-finals or missing out. For the Irish, Niall Comerford, Terry Kennedy, Hugo Keenan, Aaron O'Sullivan, Billy Dardis, Harry McNulty and Jordan Conroy will be the starting lineup that the Irish have gone with. Kua Nokia, Tristan Lades, Selvin Davids, Tian Pretorius, Christy Hrubala, Impi Fisa and also Justin Hrudold, the last man in the Blitzboks starting lineup in this contest. We have got, can we see the match? Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio shown on YouTube gets you taken straight down, copyright strike, banned from streaming for 3 months, and possibly sued. So sadly, we aren't able to show it, but we are going to be doing the commentary all throughout this contest, which will be, of course, extremely entertaining with the way that these two sides have got the potential of playing. Ireland making it all the way to the final to eventually be defeated by New Zealand in Singapore. South Africa not quite finishing as high as they would have liked. But that does not mean that they can't win this competition, which is just about to start. South Africa says that there. So I think it's only on Super Sport in South Africa as well. I should mention for you guys who are tuning in. And hope you guys are having a good afternoon. Of course, going to be a decent time for you guys watching from South Africa. Who do you think will win, says Manus? See, I believe that South Africa should. But at the same time, I feel like Ireland cannot be underestimated with what they've been able to do over the last few leagues. They are more determined than ever because of constantly getting just to the final hurdle, I should say. But I want to see the match, then someone telling us, says that though. So unfortunately, your only options really are paid subscription services where you will have to pay money to be able to do that. I would recommend checking out the World Sevens website. You'll be able to see your where to watch options depending on where you are in the world, but a majority of them, if not all, involve a paid subscription service of either Super Sport or for us here in New Zealand, it's on Sky, etc. But the Irish, raring to go here. As we can see, all-time tries, Terry Kennedy is sitting on 109 compared to the 120 of Jordan Conroy. Massive gap between them and third place, who only has 38. Let's go Blitzboks, says Marco. And it is going to be the Blitzboks who are kicking off this game from left to right to get us underway in this entertaining contest. I just know it's going to be a good game. That's the benefit of watching New Zealand versus Fiji first. You just feel like these sides all know that they have to bring their A game. That ball, I believe, is being kept in the field of play. It was actually out for South Africa, but then tapped back in while he was mid-air. And it means now that the Blitzboks have the first attacking chance of the day. Tian Pretorius is going to be taken down. Now going to the left-hand side, Tristan Lades. Going off here, great chance early for the South Africans. Our white, the Kua Nokia dragged down was Impi Visa. I think that South Africa have already shown throughout this first minute or so that they want to play a high-tempo game of rugby sevens. Tian Pretorius, counter right coming from the Irish, but losing the footing. Is that there is a little bit of a numbers advantage for South Africa out on that left-hand side. Kua Nokia dragged down 10 metres out from the line again, going back right. Selvin Davids, can he find the gap? Gives it away to Tian Pretorius, and he is through and will score it between the sticks. And that is going to make the score now 7-0 in favour of the South Africans. Can I have the stream, please? I know that because I'm in New Zealand, and if you're in South Africa, it means that you won't be able to watch through the same broadcasters as myself. But yeah, Super Sport, if you have heard of it, or DSTV, those are your options, I believe, for the Sevens. And South Africa, come on, boys, we're pausing an election back home so we can watch you make us proud. For now, go the Bockies, says Barnes there. And good try by Pretoria, South Africa 7-0. Seeing the Irish packing like Toulouse did recently, says Marco. But they are just going to show it here. Oh, they've actually just said about it. It should have been out. I mentioned about it earlier on. Off that kickoff, the ball was out, but they decided to play on it. I'm not sure whether or not there was a lack of knowledge from the referees in terms of the law, but South Africa look like they're going to try it again, and they this time kick it out on the full. Ireland will be going, that's 2 in a row now, ref. Tristan Lades overcooking that one. First try scored by Tian Pretorius, but they will not be happy that they conceded that first try, Ireland. South Africa taking their opportunity, though, when it did arise, making the absolute most of it. Can you see Sevens in 216? If that is a Super Sport channel, then maybe. I know that it's normally on one of the Super Sport channels, so if you kind of just channel surf between all of the options, eventually you should be able to find the Sevens. Currently 4.5 minutes remaining here. Hugo Keenan, of course, out on the field for the Irish. We hardly even mentioned him in terms of reading through their starting lineup, but of course, a very handy player for Leinster, a very handy player for the Irish internationals. And now Terry Kennedy gets the ball away to McNulty. It looks like now he's going to get the opportunity out wide. Here comes Hugo Keenan. Steps through one. Many rugby union players have transitioned to 7 recently. We've seen Dupont, we've seen Hooper. And now we are going to see Hugo Keenan. Back across to the right-hand side. Kennedy going across. Nice step from Hugo Keenan. And a bit of open space. And South Africa get themselves the penalty. Where can you see it? Says Tato once again, if you go onto the Sevens website, the World Rugby Sevens website, they will tell you your best option. I do not know the channels off by heart in South Africa, seeing as I'm not from South Africa. And I also do not live in South Africa. So for me, it's on Sky Sport 3 here in New Zealand. That's about as much help as I can give you, unfortunately. But Hugo Keenan. Just straight in the breakdown. I think it was off his feet there from Niall Comerford. About to throw this one in here for the Blitzboks, Selvin Davids. Still 3 minutes remaining in this first half. Nicely taken by Impi Visa. Going across now, Tristan Lades. Flat pass. Across to Justin Hirdold. Dragged down well, Jordan Conroy looking for the counter ruck. You live in England? I do not know. I live in New Zealand. And no Selvin David says Marnus. Now nice stepping there. Making his way forward. Look for the pass on the outside, but it's been given away. And the Irish now have managed to take possession back. Jordan Conroy has got... Oh, that was a knock on. No, referee says it's gone backwards. Very lenient in this game so far. Now Terry Kennedy going on the outside to Harry McNulty. Had Jordan Conroy with him, almost lost his footing. Now he lives in New Zealand. Says Novman. Now back across to the left-hand side. Ireland looking for a gap in the defence, although South Africa's defence has held up very well throughout the early stages of this match. Bounce pass going to Terry Kennedy. Now it's going to be a foot race. And it looks like Kennedy has got plenty of pace, but it's whether or not that ball's going to sit up nicely for him just over the line. And he slides onto it. And Terry Kennedy does score the try. Tristan Lades is so slow. Under 5. 7-5 says Marnus. I think you're a little bit ahead of me, Marnus, so be sure not to put in too many spoilers, but nice kick in behind. And yeah, Tristan Lades. To be fair, most people look slow next to Terry Kennedy when he's running full speed. DSTV Premium, 799 Rand. Says no mum for the price. Well scored by Terry Kennedy, and that is now going to make the score between these two sides equal after 6 minutes, 7 points to 7. The interesting part of this that I find is this group is probably going to be extremely close, whereas the group on the other side could have some one-sided affairs. Is he related to Dylan Lades? Not sure. Where are you watching it in? I'm watching it on Sky Sport 3 here in New Zealand, on Sky Sport as the option. Now, going to the short side there, that's going to be an offside penalty against Harry McNulty. Jumped the gun, which is $69.50 New Zealand, more expensive to Sky Sport. Are you okay, Marnus? Yes, he's his brother, says Marnus. He's almost young enough to be his son, isn't he? Compared to, of course, Dylan Lades, or Tristan Lades as well, to be fair. Oh, sorry, he's Tristan Lades. Dylan Lades. He's going to be kicked into touch by the South Africans. They will look to build a line out here about 35 metres out. Cheers for letting me know, brother Marnus. Just having a chat there with Marcos Mineta by the looks of it in the commentary box. He will be watching on, seeing as he is injured as we currently sit. But here comes Selvin Davids looping around Justin Hurdold. Pass on the outside. Through goes Tristan Lade, showing you a little bit of that pace. Now making the score 12-7, although you already knew that because Marnus did already say it. But 9 tries on the circuit here for Tristan Lades. Why do you need to pay to watch a stream? Says that though, that is how licensing works. Like, it's free to listen to me talk about it, but any broadcaster pretty much involves having to pay for a license, whether that's Netflix, Spotify, anything nowadays has some sort of payment that you have to make. Even if you want to watch this game in certain countries, you have to get a VPN, which is a paid service. I want to kick by Davids, 14 points to 7, so they can pay the players. Says Novmum. And there as well, we're currently sitting 14 points to 7 in favour of the South Africans. They did come in as slight underdogs into this contest, but are sitting very nicely at the moment after the first half has concluded. I feel like Selvin Davids, once again, it's just looked like the ringmaster in the South African side. Also, pretty good start to this match for Tian Pretorius, as well as some nice work coming from, I'd say Nokia still had a couple good runs, but Tristan Lades, he's had a couple good moments, other than, of course, when he was outpaced by Terry Kennedy. Come on the box. So it is a must to pay, says Tato. Unfortunately, yes, a majority of places, unless you, of course, go onto the World Rugby Sevens website, like I've mentioned 17 times. And if you check on there, there might be an option of being able to set yourself to a certain location around the world. So, you know, it's a tricky one, best commentator, and it's free. Mate, do you think a 24-year-old with a 24 or 12-year-old child is a red flag? Depends on the circumstances. That seems like a bit of a strange question. Is this from personal experience, Katzenel? Have you found yourself a lovely 12-year-old? I couldn't even say that with a straight face. I don't know how old you are, Katzenel, but stay away from those children. It's probably the best advice I can give you. Real Madrid or Dortmund, who's your tip? No idea. Haven't been watching any football recently, so I probably can't really comment on it. Second half has started, says Marnus. Not for myself in New Zealand. We are still waiting for the second half to get underway. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see exactly how it goes. Ireland are going to be kicking off from left to right. Ireland ranks second in the overall standings on the circuit, ladies and gentlemen. Whereas South Africa have got themselves that 7-point lead. Go the box, says Simeon. I'd say one more try for South Africa would almost seal the deal. Now, I'm not guaranteeing a win if they get one more try, because we've just seen Fiji fight back from being 2 tries down and go on to win the competition, or win their game up against New Zealand. Although that's nicely claimed by Jordan Conroy. Great last-ditch effort and the tackle from Tian Pretorius, and they managed to take the ball back now for the South Africans. Kua Nokia, they will not catch that man. I mean, a 25-year-old girl with a 12-year-old child. Says Katzenel. Wait, so she's 25 now rather than 24? Eventually you're going to say she's about 28, aren't you? And the Black Ferns will bounce back in 2025, says Manny M. Yeah, nice short pass on the inside from Tristan Lades. Have you went to Craven Week? I have not, no. Great try. And that's the game breaker, says Simeon. I would think so, right? But 6 minutes still remaining. That's plenty of time. One more try, we're going to say, for South Africa will seal the deal. Just one more, because at the end of the day, they also want to stop Ireland from getting a bonus point in this group. We saw New Zealand lose to Fiji by 2, so they received 1 bonus point. She's turning 25, but she's 24, says Katzenel. And how old are you, Katzenel, in this scenario? Are you the 12-year-old? Now 5:45 remaining on the clock. Griffins, says Thato. And there's going to be kicked off long by South Africa. Strategic, trying to trap Ireland inside of their own 22. Paying $70 or $100 for this. The Kiwi lads got you covered. Or the Puma. Oh, that's a huge hit. I heard that one from here. And of course, I am not in Spain, as clarified earlier on. Now, Terry Kennedy, no real options for him. But to go around the side of the breakdown, I believe still there for the Irish, but they are under immense pressure at the moment. Great run forward, though, from Zach Ward. He has broken through 2 tackles. It's going to be a foot race. Tristan Lades makes the tackle, but doesn't stop him. And that is going to be Zach Ward bringing up his 39th try of his career. I wish you need to visit South Africa for Craven Week, says the breakdown. And also we have got the ENR brother, that's not it, says Marco. Says you're 13 when a child is born. This is her own child, says Novmum. Sounds like an episode of Dr. Phil's going on in Katzenel's life, doesn't it? Should play in the Pumas because it's nice rugby. Says Thato, we've covered some Pumas rugby in the past in the Curry Cup. I don't think I'll make it into their team though. What's happening to England in the Sevens? Well, they no longer exist. It is Great Britain. And that one is going to miss away to the side for the Irish. So here's Wapi is on, says Marnus. Tell you what, this is pretty easy. I could just spend all day reading out Marnus's comments and I would be fine. I could just chill in between. 4 minutes remaining here. Savime Sawyer's Wapi going across there to Selvin Davids. 2 experienced heads. This was a pool game. It could have been a semi-final, says Annoy. And it still could be. Well, it can't be a semi-Canada. It can be a final, possibly. I wish Dr. Phil up in here. Says a Blues, Nate. Why? As in, like, why have I covered some of the Pumas? Because we were doing some of the Curry Cup back in the day. That's going to be the penalty advantage in favour of the Irish. They want the ball, but it doesn't look like it's going to come out. So eventually the referee has to... Oh, no. Referee says, no, that wasn't an advantage. I was just stretching. So now South Africa still got this ball available. Now back across. Going across. Robala. Going on the outside to Tristan Lades. Great. Big clean out there from the Irish. And they have got the ball back. Harry McNulty. That was actually a tackle on the ground from Tristan Lades. And the penalty will go the way of the Irish anyway because of the player not rolling away in this case. All time is off here. What's happened here? Okay, Harry McNulty has just been warned by Adam Lil, who's pretty much said, if I hear any more of your players talking a bit of smack, a bit of yappa to me, I'm going to reverse the penalty. Which one is your favourite team? In terms of the Sevens, I mean, of course, the Fijians are always absolutely awesome to be able to watch. Cool, watch the up-and-coming talent coming through. Sounds awesome. I guess that means no beers, though. Says Marco there. Now Ireland looking to kick this one for the corner. Has managed to put it out. McNulty walking a little bit gingerly at the moment. Looks like the left leg might be giving him a bit of trouble. They still need him out there on the park because they have got 2.5 minutes remaining to try and get themselves 2 tries in this contest. Now, they are not within 7 either at the moment here. The ball is going to be thrown in by the Irish. Nicely taken by Harry McNulty. Gets dropped down, which is going to be hard on the knee. Nice attack and run from Mullen there. McNulty back across again. The young number 23 with a nice bit of stepping. Thought about the offload there, Smith. Now McNulty. Pressure is on. Conroy has a bit of a juggle. Andrew Smith not able to go through. But Ireland look like they're on the verge of getting themselves another try here. Mullen is through. And that is going to be the try for Gavin Mullen and the Irish. I was mentioning McNulty was looking a little bit ginger. That man certainly has. Mullen got a full header here. Of ginger, of course. And beer angry parents, ref bashing all things South African. Do you love beer or Coke? What type of Coke we talking? And try by Ireland, 21 points to 19. Says Amanus. Yeah, 2 points separating these two sides. Very similar scoreline to what we saw between New Zealand and Fiji just a little bit ago. But this poll is going to be all-out action. With just 1:10 remaining in this contest. Ireland kicking this one off. They decide to kick it high. And it's well taken by Selvin Davids. Gone down to ground. Straight away, counter-ruck coming from the Irish. They managed to get that ball back. And now they almost had the penalty advantage as well. That was close to a full pass, and it's actually gone into touch from the Irish. The missed pass, trying to get it to Lennox. And it gives now the South Africans an opportunity with ball in hand. But we're seeing two crucial handling errors here from the Irish. That one was a forward pass as well, so a chance of a scrum or a line out. Why do people love beer? Says Fato. Why do people love anything? You know? It sounded quite deep, didn't it? Come on, Blitzboks. Put the Irish to sleep. Like how to lose done. Says Marco. It's well claimed by the South Africans. They have got 16 seconds to hang on to this ball. And also the chance to be able to turn what is a bonus point for the Irish into absolutely nothing. Sawyer's Wapi. It's going to be knocked on. If this ball goes into touch, which it does, they're going to have to scrum just before full time, I believe. Yep, they've got the option of a scrum or a line out. Ireland still have one more chance. There was the knock on just before the full time siren. It's always Wapi almost scored and then knocked it on. Yeah, beautifully done. Severe, Sawyer's Wapi. He thought he was away. Oh, he eats the elbow for his troubles there, Jordan Conroy. That is why he is leaking like well, I don't know what else leaks, really. I was going to say a few things, but leaking like a tank, I guess, with a hole in it. That'll do. But looks like he's going to get heavy strapping here. This game is not over, ladies and gentlemen. 19 points to 21. He threw it ahead. Says Hanoi. And I'm sure that there was a little moment there for South Africa that they were just hoping that that ball would go out and that they could secure the win by the 2 points. Now Ireland still have one last chance of being able to walk away with a victory here. And it would certainly be a hard-fought one. Even if South Africa are to win this game, we know how hard and how deep they've had to dig to get themselves the win here. It's going to be the scrum now, or scrum, sorry, I should say, for Ireland. They've scored 43% of their tries off a set piece. Why is it not over? Because there were still 2 seconds remaining on the clock at the time that the ball went out, which means that they do have to play the scrum first. Now, if there is another stoppage here, it will be the end of the game. Now, Ireland losing his footing there in the front row for the South Africans. They are inside of their 22 now, though, for Ireland. Great rush defence there on Mullen by, I believe that was actually Roscoe Speckman trying to go to the short side. Once again, taking a little bit of a risk there for the Irish. South Africa trying to get the turnover, and the penalty goes the way of the Irish. What do they want to do here? They are deep inside of their own area. This game running late at this stage. Of course, there are plenty more games to come. The next one that we are covering is going to be Kenya when they do take on the Samoans. That is at 3:25 a.m. New Zealand time. Kicking for distance, and it's gone down to the halfway line. Ireland still with a chance here. But we are up to around 18 minutes into this contest. Ireland have beaten South Africa in 3 out of their last 4 meetings this season, the most of any season. So they will feel like they have a great chance of walking away with a win here. But South Africa just going to try and defend this line out. It looks like they are ready to go for it. Tell you what, they have to throw it soon here, Ireland. Oh, and they have gone in, beautifully done by the Irish, shut down early by South Africa, although the ball has managed to find the offload into the hands now of Mullen on the halfway line. Ireland have numbers on this right-hand side with McNulty, whose knee still seems like it's given him a little bit of trouble. He's not quite as quick as he normally is, but now Andrew Smith, big shot on him by Christy Hrubala. Ireland still hoping to walk away with a win here. But it's going to be tricky to do. Zach Ward, ball still available. They've got men on the left-hand side. Rush defence there from South Africa. The gap's starting to open up. Goes with the pass very early to Jordan Conroy. And they cannot afford a handling error here. Conroy showing some individual brilliance. That could be an advantage in favour of the Irish. Couple cheap shots coming in from the South Africans. Has flattened one of the Irish players. Ward gets the offload on the inside to McNulty. One more to Mullins, and the Irish have won this game in the dying moments. In fact, 3 minutes past the final moments in this contest, the Irish are victorious. And I all are late. Thought South Africa were well on the way Didn't expect it to be this close, says Brian. And now South Africa and New Zealand are two sides in this pool who do not have a win under their boat. They've both, or under their belt, I should say, they have both received bonus points. So that is a dirty shot there from one of those Blitzboks players in the midfield. I want to say that it was Christy Hrubala, but it may have actually been one of the replacements. Actually, Dylan Sage, I believe, was the man who did it. And South Africa bottled it, says Manis, but the Irish get themselves the win again. Just some fantastic passing at the end. But one thing's for sure, Pool B is going to be the best pool. I can guarantee you that. I don't think Australia, Great Britain, France, and also Argentina will have two games like we've just seen between South Africa and Ireland and New Zealand and Fiji. But the next game that we are covering is in about 2.5 hours' time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be covering the matchup between Samoa and also Kenya. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But Ireland getting themselves the win, 26 points to 21. South Africa were ahead by 2 tries. And just like New Zealand, who were ahead by 2 tries, they then lost. How much does Fiji play? They did indeed just play New Zealand. They were able to win that contest 28 points to 26, beating New Zealand in the final moments of that contest. So Ireland and Fiji both have wins in Pool B. We'll have to wait and see exactly how this one progresses as this pool continues. Now, I should mention the next games of this pool are actually going to be taking place tomorrow night. New Zealand playing South Africa. That is at 10:44 p.m. New Zealand time. And then Ireland playing Fiji. That is at 11:06. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, 2.5 hours. The next stream is going to be starting between Samoa and Kenya. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. And I will see you all for the next one.